The owners of the AA are potentially looking to sell the company for around £5 billion, which would make it one of the biggest deals in the last few years in the UK. So the private equity companies Tower Brook Capital, Warburg Pincus and Stonepeak purchased the AA back in 2020 for just £219 million when it was incredibly laden with debt, and have now turned the company around to now potentially being worth £5 billion. So that's nearly a £4.8 billion profit in just 5 years. So now, what has caused such strong success for the AA? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the AA previously had a lot of debt, and when you've got billions of pounds in debt, then your interest costs are massive, and this really weighs down on profits. And so the private equity companies who took the company over were able to pay off a lot of this debt, meaning that the interest payments were reduced and therefore the profits are now far better. But also crucially, the company has switched from more low margin, infrequent call outs to now more subscription based pricing, where you pay a subscription for breakdown or insurance or whatever other service you want from the AA, which means that revenues are far more timely and you can predict them a lot better. The company's also become a lot more operationally efficient, and also the company has been able to capitalize on its huge size, where a lot of the smaller breakdown companies haven't been able to compete with the likes of the AA and the RAC in that national coverage of breakdown cover. Also, another thing that I've learned is that UK cars are now becoming older on average due to reliability generally improving. But as cars get older, that means that essentially you're more likely to need breakdown cover, and so the AA services have become more in need over the last few years. But also the company has massively increased its customer base, which is another reason that it's doing so well, as it now has over 17 million customers. So all in all, this has meant that in the first half of the year, revenues were up to £623 million, and profits were up 54% compared to the previous period, up to £50 million, which is a great tailwind for anyone looking to sell a business. So do we think the AA will get sold for around £5 billion, or potentially could the company be listed on the stock market in an IPO?